Mark, that must be one of the most satisfying wins you've had in your short time as a head coach at the club.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. Really delighted for the players. They've carried out a game plan meticulously. They've all contributed. Even the boys that didn't get a shirt today have contributed in their actions off the field. So I'm delighted for a great bunch of blokes.
When you look at that performance, it's very difficult to actually single one player in terms of a man of a match. From 1 to 17, it's probably very pleasing and complete performance.
Yeah, it is, and there are ones in there that stood out, but collectively as a group, and what we're trying to do all through pre-season and all through the year so far is be connected as a group in everything we do. So, I thought it was a terrific debut from Josh Johnson off the bench today. Really pleased for him, and massive minutes again from I think from 1 to 17. Everybody's contributed.
What's the most pleasing aspect about that performance this afternoon?
The fact that we've had a clear plan and carried it out to the letter of the law. Gone are the days where this team come under a little bit of adversity and go wanting. We stick together as a group, staff, off-field staff, football staff, players. This club's connected again.
It was really tight and tense throughout, very similar to last week. I think obviously Toulouse at one point went 10 points clear and then you started that fight back. The fact that it was so close throughout, did that genuinely give you that belief and hope?
Yeah, I genuinely believed before the game that we could do something here, and not at no point throughout the game did that go. The belief from the players, the belief from everybody involved. As I said, we had a clear plan. We believed in the plan, and everybody off the field believed that the boys would follow that plan to the letter of the law, and they certainly did.
It got a little bit feisty and fiery in that second half. Do you feel that Bradford benefited off the back of that? You took the game by the scruff of the neck, where some might say Toulouse imploded.
A lot of people throw accusations at my team about being indisciplined. I thought you saw today that we're not an indisciplined team at all. Penalty-wise, actions-wise, we stayed disciplined, and the other team seemed to lose theirs at points in the game as well. So, yeah, very pleasing.
Joe Rundle's try was very well taken, quick tap on the ball and catching Ashall Bott and Guy Armitage out of position.
Yeah, it was a good try, wasn't it? I've just had a bit of a joke with him now, saying we'll do some extra speed work next week because we look like we're running in quicksand for the last five metres. But that's great for Joe. He's worked hard since he come in to catch up because he was behind where the boys were when he came in. But yeah, he's slowly catching up, and
he's like a human fireball when he's on the field.
He is, and please don't forget, your John Baldwinsons and your Fenton Rogers is there, and Brad Foster's played not 100% today. So we had a late withdrawal last night at 10 to 11 at night. It was. We had a boy from Leeds that was due to play for us, and he got pulled last night. So we've had to jig things round, and I was on the phone at 11:30 last night with Brad Foster, asking him if he could do his job off the bench. And just credit to the bloke, he's put his hand up straight away and he's jumped in and gives a real solid 20 minutes in.
Is that why James McDonald didn't feature?
Yes.
Liam Tyndall got the nod over Foggin Johnson. Is there anything up with D, or was that just selection?
No, it's a selection thing, and it was a tactical thing. Sat down and spoke with Fogg, and Fogg's been great for us so far this year. Fogg's 6 foot tall, he's 5'7", and he was playing against a winger that's 6'4", and we tried to anticipate their game plan would be to kick to Fogg and try and get on the back of it. So when there's a player like Liam Tyndall available, who I believe his last competitive game in the Super League Grand Final last year, then we'd be silly not to use him. But again, absolute massive respect to D. Foggin Johnson and how he's dealt with the news. Clearly wasn't happy with it, but understood my thought process. Sat in my office and said I'll back your coach, and he's been a model pro today. He's been great in and around the camp. So massive credit to I've got to do.
Chester Butler didn't feature.
Yeah, he picked up a dead leg, and when we trained here on Thursday night, he was running about absolutely fine. The last 5 minutes of the session, he just got another knock on that leg, pinching on his MCL. So again, you know, it could have played and got through, but we could have played him and quite easily lost him for 6 weeks as well. So we made the call not to.
Does this win today, do you feel it puts a bit more spotlight on you and the Bradford Bulls? You know, last week you ended Witness's unbeaten record. This week you've ended Toulouse's unbeaten record.
I think it puts some things to bed. You know, my halfbacks can play together. We're not an indisciplined team. We do like playing at Odsal. You know, all them sorts of things. We've come up the last 2 weeks with 2 real good tests. And I've just spoke to the players in there. I've asked them, you know, to enjoy the weekends because they've got a rare Sunday off tomorrow. They'll get the video clips tomorrow morning, but I want them to then, you know, once I've had a look at them, forget about rugby league until early next week. But I've warned them that I think we're playing the best team in the competition next week in Featherstone Rovers. You know, watched them a couple of times in pre-season and earlier on in the season. And, yeah, they're a very good team. And Post Office Road's a really tough place to go. So enjoy tonight. Enjoy the weekend with the families, but we've got to come prepared to work really hard next week in preparation for what I think is going to be the toughest assignment of the year.
Final one from me, I don't want to hog it all. Any injuries, Mark, as everyone come through this game?
Brad England's got a thumb problem. I'm not so sure how bad it is yet. You know, he strapped it up and carried on through the sheer adrenaline of the game. I think it'll be a bit sore tonight once he comes down from cloud 9. Other than that, we've just got bumps and bruises.
Yeah, I think their first loss since 2019 in regular season, Mark, since you beat them last. What do you reckon that can do for your team's confidence, a victory like this today?
Yeah, it'll do a lot, but you know, we've got to be grounded as well. You know, I always talk to the players about not living in the moment for too long. You know, so when we have bad days, we don't live in it for too long, and we can't live in this for too long either. You know, so they've been encouraged to enjoy tonight and, like I say, rest up with the families for the weekend. But when we get back to work on Monday and Tuesday, it's just that, it's back to work, preparing for a real tough test.
Now you've seen that benchmark of performance as well. Would you be disappointed to almost see below that going forward now?
Listen, I've seen the benchmark all through pre-season about what these boys deliver, about how these boys conduct themselves, and about, you know, the actions on and off the field. I've seen enough in pre-season to know where these boys were. I don't think we're anywhere near the finished article. There's loads of improvement left in us, and that's the most exciting thing for me. So we've set benchmarks in pre-season, we've set standards with each other, we've set targets that will remain in-house, and so far we're doing all right.
Yeah, you've signed obviously a lot of good players in the summer. There seems a real unity between the squad, the fans, everyone at the minute else. So what do you think has been the biggest change from last season, minus the signings, let's say?
Yeah, we've signed well, but we've also returned well. You know, so we've returned well and we've signed well, and I think the connection with the fans is due to them being able to relate to this team. You know, this team are now a team that they can relate to, that they can, you know, put their name to in good times and in bad. But you know, this team are displaying all the effort and characteristics that Bradford people demand of their sporting teams.
Yeah, finally, are we pleased with the game management at the end? Must have been very pleased with it, seeing the game out in the way that you did.
Yeah, delighted. We stayed really calm and composed, you know, and got the job done in the end. So yeah, delighted.
Just a couple of extra from me for League Express. Just, you mentioned how tough it's going to be next Monday. How much of a benefit is having the slightly longer on the turnaround of it?
Oh yeah, it's going to be good. You know, it's going to be good to be able to give the boys 2 or 3 days to forget about rugby league. And there's a couple heading off, you know, this evening to spend a couple of nights away with the families, you know, within this country. But they're going to take time to recharge the batteries, and yeah, we'll attempt to go again next week.
What do you do sort of differently when you do have those extra couple of days to spread out your preparations? Yeah,
nothing different within our preparations. It's just about letting the boys have that extra time to recover. So you know, I'll still be watching the game tonight. I'll send the clips out to them tomorrow, and then yeah, we'll start looking at Featherstone and what we've got to do differently, or what we can do differently to try and challenge them.
Yeah, because Toulouse and Featherstone had a fairly similar start to the season. Some big wins. Can you take a lot, do you think, out of today's game into Featherstone?
Yeah, we're building. You know, we're building consistently, and week on week we're getting that a little bit better. As I say, you know, we're nowhere near where we want to be yet, and we've got an awful lot of improvement left in us. But I think the basis of what we've done with our character and our enthusiasm over the last few weeks is you know, our defensive work's been pretty good as well. So you know, we're basing it on the hard work and the effort-based things, and you know, the rest of it.
And a chance to show yourselves off on TV as well. That must also add a bit of extra spice as well.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You know, we've not got a great record on TV, so let's hope we can put it right this week.